Hi everyone, Nancy with Our Treasure Home, and welcome to a Wednesday night chat. So I'm gonna try and start doing some things different with the channel. Going live like later in the evening and everything, so that other people can get involved and all. So thank y'all for the TV watchers, the people in the chat. There's Rebecca, and those who watch later in the replay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm putting my lips on. So I like color. I have to have color. I used to use brown all the time, and it's like, once I got these colors, I was like, oh no, the brown's too muted. So, yeah. So tonight's subject, of course, we've been talking about health goals and weight loss and different things and everything. So on Wednesdays, Gail and Heather, hey Kim, have Healthy Goal Wednesdays. So, and they rotate their channels back and forth. And tonight was Gail's Southern Living. I think next week will be Milk and Honey Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. So, we'll get those links in there. But anyway, so tonight I decided, it's like, well, let's, we'll keep talking about that, the different things we do to lose weight, maybe to get off that yo-yo type thing and everything. So I thought, oh, I know a great subject to talk about, because we've all seen it. We've seen the ad. We've seen the ad of the pink salt and the apple cider vinegar. And, and then if you click on it, it goes on to this long spell about whether it's Slim Jaro or something else Jaro, whatever. It's an ad for you to buy. Whatever. So, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I do not play one on YouTube, TV, or anywhere else. So this is why I've been trying to see if it actually works or not. If it works for me, because everybody's body's different. Hey Rita, how you doing? I was in there. I didn't say hello, but I was watching. Blueberry pie, Rita. That'd be a good one to do. I love blueberries. Or blueberry cheesecake pie. We can do that too. So I decided. So I've seen it enough times. I know the ingredients and everything. That's so funny. So it's like, I worked with it. I wanted to see, was it a full cup of water, half a cup of water, a fourth of a cup of water? What measurements did I actually really need to sit there? Because they don't tell you that, any other time. So I was like, so this is probably like a 12-ounce mug of water or something other. So only fill it up to this much. So it'd be like a fourth of a cup of water. I'll put that in there. And with the pink salt, I've adjusted from, start with a teaspoon, then went to half a teaspoon, to like a fourth a teaspoon. Hey Fuzzy, how you doing? And then just to see, or like a pinch, just to see if it's too salty, do I need to adjust that and everything else. So, and then this is the cinnamon, but you can use regular cinnamon. Now this, you really only need a pinch, because, cinnamon's really powerful, I guess you would say, but it's also powdery. So, I know years ago that trend that was going around, you take a teaspoon of cinnamon, and like, who'd be stupid enough to do that? But, that's what they did. And then, they finally stopped doing that. All right, so it's your water, your salt, your cinnamon. Now, a lot of people don't like apple cider vinegar. Some people do like apple cider vinegar. So the apple cider vinegar will be half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of it. And then your lemon juice, I put a teaspoon of lemon juice. But I substitute the apple cider vinegars a lot with the lime juice. So um, I do a teaspoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of lime juice. So that's what I've been doing. I don't do it every day. That's the little secret. You gotta do it every day. So I'm not consistent with that. Um, most days I do it. I might miss 2, maybe 3 days because when I get up, it's like, very thankful to be awake and everything. And I'm like, oh, so do I, I just depends how I feel. But the key is being consistent. You need to take it out. Hey, Paula Ventures, how you doing? Lemon, oh no, lemon water is awesome. If you just squeeze a little bit of lemon in your water. Now I use stevia to sweeten all my stuff. So, and everything. Hold on. So, that's one of the things I've been doing to really try to. All right, good night, Rita. You have a good night. To see, because I've been losing weight. I've been getting it off, and everything. So it's like, okay, try to speed up the metabolism just a little bit more, just to see what's going on. So uh, doing that. One of the key things is if you're gonna do like the pink salt, just do it like not when you first get up, but before you eat or drink coffee or anything, because that was the key thing of it all and everything. So, and then other diets that people do, we call it diets because it's really a diet is the way you eat. It can be whether you're eating low carb, keto, or if you just eat everything. Diet is actually the way you eat. And that's what I learned a long time ago. Let's see here. The kinds of food that a person, animal, or community eats, habitually eats. You repeatedly eat it the same way over and over and over again. Or a special course of food to which one restricts oneself either to lose weight or medical reasons. So that's the second one. But the first one is the kinds of food that a person, animal, or community regularly eats. So, it's like, oh, it's really nothing special. So Webster says a food and drink regularly provided or consumed. Nourishment, the kind or amount of food prescribed for a person or animal for a specific reason. A regimen of eating and drinking sparingly so to reduce one's weight. That's another thing. Something provided or experienced repeatedly. So diet can mean all kinds of different things for different people. But it's actually the way you eat. Now, your diet can go from low carb, like what I try to do most of the time. No carbs for breakfast, no carbs for lunch, and then have my dinner, which I did very well today. I did excellent today, so I'm glad about that. Then people do keto, and then you have carnivore. You got Weight Watchers out there. You've got, and this is old, Richard Simmons. But Weight Watchers been out there for years too, and so has Richard Simmons. You have, I think there was one, a South Beach diet. Oh my goodness, there's so many different ones now. That hey Marissa, how you doing? Good to see you. So many different things that people do, and then then there's people who can eat anything and don't gain any weight. And it's like, my best friend was that way growing up. she could eat anything, and she was like a stick. I was like, oh. And I've always had to work at not always. Up till I was third grade, and I got yearbook pictures I can show y'all. Up till I was in summer after second grade to go into third grade, I was a skinny kid. But once that summer hit and I go into third grade, I started putting on the weight. And I don't know why. No one ever told me why. Nobody said anything about, you know, doing keto and plant-based stuff for my family members and friends. Well, that's good. See, and then there's another one that's plant-based. So, we all have different ways that we eat because, we eat dairy-free because of my granddaughter. And then I eat alpha-gal-friendly meals because I can't have the beef and the pork and all that other good stuff. So it's like, so that goes along with in my book I got about eating right for your blood type. And it talks about if you like more meat stuff, that's like O type. If you're more like vegetables and, not as much meat, that's called like blood type A. A and B is kind of like in the middle and everything. So, it's really interesting because I was looking at it and everything. I was like, well, I like a lot of vegetables and everything on the list. I was going through it and I was like, okay, that makes sense. So then I went to see my doctor for a regular checkup and everything. He said we could get one done. He goes, but I don't think the insurance company would pay for it, but it costs like $300. Like, I don't think so. So I did talk to my insurance company and said if it's medical necessary, it would be paid for. So I'm like, okay. So I go see the heart doctor in August. I asked them, did they do when they drew the blood and everything, all that test, did they do a cross type match and everything? Because putting a pacemaker in is major surgery. Yes, thank God. You got that right. So I'm like, okay, this is really cool information that that we have. Now in the description I have Dr. Berg's, his channel, and then Chef Ricado cooking. Now Dr. Berg was talking about things that our body needs and everything, and his story is really interesting. If you go listen to his story about how he found all this out. And then him and his family, I don't know if it's been a year ago or a few years ago, sold everything he had, bought a farm, and started raising his own food. And it was just like he goes the difference between night and day. So I thought that was interesting. Now, he talks about, now that's what I was talking about, the magnesium and everything. And the magnesium does help me at nighttime. It helps me sleep. And it helps with, I guess, my nerves and my hips and everything during the day and everything. So that's what I know for myself. Because I, go to the doctor, get the blood work done to see what vitamins your body's missing or you're low or whatever. Because this time I've been taking my magnesium and magnesium levels were normal. So it's like, yes, that works. I know it's working and everything. And then Dr. Berg talks about what your body, or how your body uses salt and what and everything. I'm not going into that because I don't know all of it. I just know that's what I've learned from him. So I like today. I didn't do it today. And I'm like, I know I should have done it. I'm gonna do it tonight. And I'm like, then stop talking yourself out of doing things that are good for your body. But I know lemon juice and lime juice has vitamin C, so your body needs vitamin C for bones and other things that your body needs to function. So, and it also helps with your body to absorb magnesium better. And that's what I've learned going through this and everything and trying to get myself say healthy or I know the weight has a lot to do on bearing on your bones and everything. But when you have multiple injuries and you have a limit to mobility now, instead of things you used to be able to do, you have to find other ways to help with your body to do things. Now, on the last live, I was talking about my vitamin D. I can tell y'all that for certain for myself, as growing up as a kid, as much as I was in the sun and everything, that my body did not absorb the vitamin D from the sun. I know it didn't. From all the tests and everything that now I've got to do later on in life and going to the doctor and everything, with my vitamin D levels being low like that, it shouldn't have been. Because I've even tested it out as an adult a couple years ago, sitting outside. It's like a month or 2 months before I went to the doctor for just a regular checkup and blood work and everything. I sit outside every day for 30 minutes in the sun because your body's best to absorb the vitamin D. Hey, Joy and Donnie. So, and my vitamin D would be low. So, I know for a fact myself, the test I did myself, that my body does not absorb the vitamin D from the sun. So, that's why I have a vitamin D supplement. So, I know that helps also. But then with Chef Ricado, he is from Jamaica, and they do a lot of things all natural there and everything. So tonight I have tea in my cup. Let's see if I can get them out. And I didn't strain this because I want to show you. That's a lime, but it looks like a lemon, and parsley. And I've got what he talks about, having that mix at nighttime. That link is down in the description also. So it's like I've got the information, and when you get the information, it's not only getting the information, writing it down, seeing what works for your body, but also doing the process. That's one of the key factors is figuring out what works for you and then keep doing it. That's what the word diet means. Basically repeating the same thing over and over again, but with good results. Because sometimes, it's the opposite. So when you find something that doesn't work, stop, give your body a break for about a week or so, then start something new and see what works. So that's what I've been drinking. Actually, it doesn't taste bad at all. Added stevia because, the lime juice is kind of like tart. But, it's really good. Now, in the mornings, what I'll do, again, like I said, I'll put like that much water in there, and I'll measure out a half a teaspoon of salt, and I'll do a half a teaspoon of the cinnamon, and then a teaspoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of lime juice. And I just mix it really well, and as it's swirling, I just gulp it down. Now, for me, I can tell a difference when I take it, when I drink that and when I don't. It just, it feels like a cleansing thing in your body. And I drink that before I drink my coffee. And so by the time I get up, get dressed, get the things doing, Bible, devotions, praying, getting ready for the day, getting my necklace on or whatever and everything. Get that. It's like I'll like, all right, it's like, by the time it's like 10:30, I'll make, and then 11, it's like 11, by the time I know it's 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I'm just like, where did the morning go? So as far as the fasting, no, Dr. Berg talks about that too. Now, some people can't, and that's understandable. So you work with, what you can. But he said, like, have an afternoon, like a brunch, lunch thing, and then have your dinner, and then nothing afterwards, and all that. Now, I did try to do a 24-hour fast, and my body was just like, nope, not this time. No, 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 no. Now, when I had it's the same issues going on. Now, this has healed up pretty good. Of course, when I go to the allergist tomorrow, it's not going to be flared up. This side is still, I was like, come on. But when it was my hands, no, there's a little bit on my hands right here. My skin's dry on my finger. I did a Daniel fast, and I fasted no meat whatsoever for 30 days, and my hands cleared up. So, hey, Taka, good to see you. Fasting cardio, yeah, that's right. And like, there you go. And so that's what Dr. Berg talks about, fasting. He goes, if you go and you just type in that search, where the search is, and fasting, he's got a lot of stories and everything. But he goes, sometimes you gotta work up to it. He goes, but intermittent fasting works awesome. So if I stop eating at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, it's 12 hours, and then 6 more hours, that's 18. So it's not that I'm really trying to do fasting purposely. I think that's just the way my body has become to just do things now. And it's because I used to sit there when I first got up, especially if you're at school and everything, you eat before you went to school. But it used to be where I had to have something to eat when I first got up. Now, not so much. So I think, your body adjusts to what you're doing. So, and yes, access, a little bit of exercise here and there and everything. And I was telling Rebecca, so I got this app on my phone. It's called Lazy Exercises. I haven't done it in 2 weeks. And it's just like a simple thing. It's like 5 minutes and all. But, it was doing your arms and everything. And I'm like, and I noticed yesterday that, I was like, okay, I haven't been doing it. And normally, I do these with my wrist and everything still. And I went to grab, it was yesterday, my cane, and it was my elbow. I'm like, why is this feeling, like it's like not, it would bend, but it's like wanting to stay stuck or something. I'm like, what? And I'm like doing this and stretching like this. And I was like, what in the world? So I was like, okay. So I know now things I need to work on, because something here was telling me I'm not going to work today because, I don't know what it was. So I was like, okay. So today I did not, like I said, today I didn't, because today I was really actually laying down a lot in the bed. Because, okay, so here's a story for you. So I got up this morning, that's yesterday, but this morning, my left, I say hip. The orthopedic said that's not your hip. So back here, where the sciatic nerve runs down, I got up and I got to step. I was like, okay, it's going to be that day. It's like, all right, Lord, help me get me through, because I need to wash clothes and and everything. So I did ask family to help get the clothes basket down to the basement so I didn't have to try to hold the cane, a phone, or whatever and do that. So they did that for me. So I washed clothes, got back up. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like took everything. I was like, okay, what in the world's going on? Because I've been doing good and everything, and I was still taking my stand that on and everything. And I was like, oh, all right, we're gonna chalk it up to the weather because it's hot, it's humid, and everything, and just one of those days. So I was like sitting here around lunchtime or so, just I'm like, I've got to lay down. So I told Rebecca, I said, I'm gonna go take a nap, or I've got to lay down. Oh, I know. As soon as I lay down, I'm going to sleep. So I fell asleep. So I woke up. It was like 2 o'clock. I was like, okay, it's not hurting and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. Get up to go to the restroom. Oh no, no. Hey, poor Caserta. Good to see you. So I'm like, okay, all right. I see what's going on. So I sat here to do some things, and I'm like, no, this isn't working. My left foot start going numb, and I'm like, I've got a box here underneath that I can pop my leg up to keep it up, to keep that nerve kind of like up, so that it's level, a little bit higher than level and everything. But hey, Jane Doe. So I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, so what is going on? Like, so I've had a good low carb lunch. It was chicken. I had some lettuce with bean sprouts and a little bit of cabbage. I didn't even put my dressing in it, and something else. The chicken, the cabbage, the lettuce, the bean sprouts, and I did oil and vinegar dressing. I do my honey mustard. So I'm just like, okay, did real good and everything. And I was like, that's good. So then I had to lay down. So I'm like laying there and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I'm doing all right. I got up at 2:30 or whatever, and I sit there and I'm like, got in the chair because I need to do things, and it started. I was like, the pain. I'm just sitting here gritting my teeth, and I'm like, it's going down my leg, you know. My foot goes numb. I'm like, that's not good. I don't like this feeling. So I was like, I'm going back and I lay down again. And about this time, it's like 3:30 or so. And I'm just looking at, I had Baker Creek seed catalog came in, so I'm looking at that. And my son and daughter comes down to fix dinner, and we just are talking away and everything. And there ain't nobody on. If I'm laying down, I have to be off my hip. I can't not sit in this chair. So I'm like, okay. So I got up again at dinner time, which is about 4:30 or so, and made my dinner and everything. And then I told Rebecca she could call me. And we're sitting there talking. I'm just like, about an hour or so, I'm like, Rebecca, I really need to go lay down. And she goes, oh. So I'm like, I need to lay down. I said, something's not right. She goes, well, I said, my foot's going numb. So she goes, all right. So I said, well, I'm going to lay down. But I turned the fan to where we were watching Emergency on DVD. She goes, I remember that show. So I just flipped the phone around. I said, I'm still here, but I've got to lay down. Hi, Derek. How you doing? So we're sitting there. So she had to go do things and everything. And I didn't go to sleep, but I'm just like, okay. I say, I'll start praying. I was like, okay, Lord. I was like, all day long, I've been debating about going. Like, I know I made this live. I really don't. No, I'm hurting too bad. And just like, I'm going to lean into you. And the Father goes, you're doing this live. You promised people you be there. You promised yourself that you were going to do these things. You're going to get up and you're going to do it. I was like, yes, sir. I mean, just as plain as day as that. I was like, yes, sir. I was like, all right. So I got up. I was doing some things. It was time to go see Anastasia. And went upstairs. And, we did our thing and everything and all. And it was hurting when I went up there. And we do devotions and everything, look at different videos, cat videos, laugh and have a good time and everything. By the time I come downstairs, it stopped. And I'm like, okay, I know exactly what this was. And I'm going to have this as a testimony for y'all tonight. All day long, the pain, the hurting, the foot going numb, was, I don't know, go ahead and say it. The devil was sitting there trying to get me to cancel this live because I need to lay down. I don't feel good. Or self-sabotage myself out of doing things. And I was like, and when I heard the Father sit there, say that to me, and said, no, you're doing this. You done promised yourself what you're going to do with your channel. Get up and do it. So I was like, all right. Got up. I was still hurting. My foot was still numb. And I'm like, I know it's not a blood clot, but now I know what it is. Went up there with Anastasia. I was up there a few hours. Came down. Sat down. Was talking to Rebecca. I see you want to hear something funny. Said stopped. She looked at me. I said, everything, the pain's done stopped. So then I get a phone call, and I'm telling that person, I was like, the devil really fucked me all day long. With pain, foot numbness, everything else. Not for me to go live tonight. And I was like, the Father sit there and said to me, you're doing it. So when you have made a commitment to yourself and to others, just stick with it because there's a purpose in it some way along the line. So I had to give y'all that testimony tonight because I was like, that was part of this thing all day long. And I was like, there we go. I promised myself. So the things are changing on the channel. And I've said this so many times, but my Monday night lives are still there. Wednesday night lives, late lives will be here. Exactly. Thank you, Heather. How you doing? Friday nights, I will be lives on my cooking channel. And then Saturday nights, we'll be doing a Bible study. So I will start the Bible studies again. I'm going to put my hair out. I'm hot. It is hot. It must be hot outside because it's hot down here. It says it's 67. I don't know. It's hot. So I will be doing a lot of lives. And I would sit there and I prayed about it. I was like, okay, Lord, I want to do more things. I want to do more things besides just videos and everything. Hey, Misha, how you doing? And I was in Yoga Hollow Farm and Mountain Grandma's Live Tuesday, and we were talking about all kinds of things. I was one thing talking about self-sabotage and everything, and it was just something that the Lord needed me to hear because I do that. And that's a story that will be maybe for the Bible nights and everything, another testimony and everything. So I was like, okay. And the thing was, be consistent. I've been hearing that a lot with everything I do. So being consistent with diet, which is actually the way you eat, whether you're going to eat low carb, if you eat keto, or you can eat anything you want, but you want to eat healthier. Um, so you've got to look for, things that work for you and everything. So my experiment with the pink salt is a fourth a cup of water, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of the cinnamon, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon of lime juice. That has worked for me, along with some other things that I have. Now, I have a video on our treasure home about the spices, like it's clove, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom that I put a spice in my coffee. And I have forgotten. Sometimes I forget, but the last few days I haven't done it, and I tell a difference. You think something's not working until you don't have it for a couple of days, and it's like then you go, okay, what was I doing differently that made me feel better? Like, oh yeah, you did a video about it. You didn't put anything in your coffee, but I don't put it in my first cup. I put it in my last cup of coffee. So, it's just something I wanted to try because I like the taste of coffee. I love coffee. I love the taste of coffee. But I was like, so I want to enjoy my coffee. And I really only have, mostly it's 2 cups, maybe 3 cups of coffee a day. But I had already gotten down to where I only 1 cup of coffee. I used to drink a pot of coffee a day, and I could drink a pot of coffee in the morning, a pot of coffee at night. And it just didn't. Okay, the results I'm getting with doing pink salt, I feel like maybe it's not helping with the weight, but it probably is. But as far as like the functioning of my body completely, alertness, I feel more energetic. But I'm also taking other things. But when I take that first thing in the morning, I can tell, like, it feels like I'm refreshing as it goes down. Now, everybody needs electrolytes that helps with your functioning of everything, your lubricants in your joints and your body, your brain, and everything. So, is it helping lose weight? I don't want to say I hope it is, but I think that's a mixture between doing that and the low carbs, and it is trying to stay away from the beef. Now, I will tell you, I ate some regular tacos 2 weeks ago, and yeah. So I don't know if this was the alpha-gal or if this was messing with my tomato plant and trying to, fix that up. Oh, Joy, it's okay. Everybody's had internet issues just a while ago. All right. So I told you about me, my hurting and everything. And the Lord said, go ahead and do it and everything. Like 15 minutes before I go live, we had no internet connection. I was like, oh, no. I still got my phone. I will do it through my phone if I have to. It came right back on. I was like, do some dancing this week? I don't know. do some chair dancing. We can do chair dancing. Chair dancing. I have noticed in my clothes are looser. The sweatpants I have on. So I'm wearing sweatpants. It's hot and I'm wearing sweatpants. Oh my goodness. I know the internet's been messing up all day long. I don't know. This is so but these I've had since I weighed close to 400 pounds. So I'm gonna show y'all this. I used to fill these out. So I don't know if y'all can. Let me do it this way. These are falling down, but this was how big I was. I filled these out. And now that's how big they are on me. So I'm like, two people can fit on one person in one leg, another person in another leg. Anastasia and I did that a few years ago. I didn't take a picture of it, but it was funny. So I have not gotten on the scales yet. I will wait till next week and get on the scales so that I can see. Phone and tablet. So I need to upgrade something new. Oh yeah, I know. I understand that too. It's like, oh my goodness. So one thing I have noticed doing, because Heather asked the question, one thing I have noticed doing this, the cough and like the sinus drainage and everything, it's not that much anymore. So I'm like, oh yeah, if I sit up straight, it's like I can tell right through here. So right through here, I have lost the weight. So you'll lose, to me, it's the inches first before the pounds. So the love handles are starting to go. What do I love? So that helps and everything. And then I know when I have something I'm not supposed to have, or I don't have a scale. Awesome. That's so cool. Yes, centimeters do matter. Some people measure in centimeters, some people measure in inches. So I don't know how many inches I've lost. I do have it written down because, oh, thank you so much, Heather. I was like, so, but I do know when I do eat something I'm not supposed to eat, or not that I can't have it, or it makes me have a reaction to something, this right here will be more. It's like a swelling in my face. And it'll be swelling in my hands. Because, see, I've got my ring on. And it's loose. It's loose enough and lost weight enough that I can get my ring on my middle finger here. So, but when it's tight and I can't get it on, I'm like, okay, I have to backtrack. What did I do? What did I drink? What did I eat? What did I touch? Or what did I come across? Or did, something. So that's another reason why I'm going back to the allergist tomorrow. So I'm glad I took pictures of my arm and saved it. So I was like, this is what it looked like, 2 days before I come to see you. And I was like, now it's all cleared up. Something else I've noticed that it possibly could be, I had started cooking because we got the Ninja out of storage and I was cooking in that. And, I was still, same thing. Everything. I said, well, I guess it's no different, that it's not the cast iron that I'm cooking in or anything. And so I start using that a couple of days a week and everything. And that's like everything all at one time. So I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it's like, you know, tying up my tomato plant and trimming the leaves or whatever by hand and stuff using the snips I have. Oh, I know. I really like that's. We love those rebounders. If I had room, I had room was putting it away where I need to find space if I wanted to get one of those. Oh yeah, Joy and Daddy want a bike ride tonight. The National Park, my Apple Watch tells me those are heavy workouts outside. I'd had one of those watches years and years ago, and then it was too much to update and everything, but it was pretty cool. Um, and you got things on your phone you can do. We have a Samsung, well, it's through Samsung, but it used to sit there, have the healthy thing, and I would put the information in and all, but I don't carry my phone with me all the time, so it doesn't track my steps like it used to. But I did. I used to do the steps and everything, and then I just don't even like it sits on the table when I go in the kitchen unless I'm filming it doesn't go with me outside or anything, and I just try to do more things with my hands. Now, for some reason, this thumb it never hurts. Now it hurts tonight. I'm like, well, this has nothing to do with going live, but it's just odd. Um, um, the other things I will talk about, apothecary, lotions and stuff that I make that has helped me and everything. Mountain Grandma is having the month of August. My apothecary, that's a tongue twister word. Stuff going out. So I am involved with that. When the dates came out. So I know the 15th and the 23rd. I know the 15th I'm on the 15th of August. So I've already made my video. It's just waiting to upload. So, and that's what I've been doing. That's something about being consistent. It's not only with your eating, being consistent can be with your devotions, your prayer time. It can be stuff that you want to commit to yourself for doing, whether it's gardening, a YouTube channel, or your crocheting, or your knitting, or your sewing, anything. I don't know. It's hard. It's like I've got too many projects I want to do, or you know, they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes I do. Because I was like, I got all this yarn I'm trying to crochet up and do projects with. And then, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about the garden and it's hot and it's, no rain. And I think, do I need to go water? Do I not need to water? Today we looked to have the doors open because the stove is still something smoky. So when I there, my son goes, "What is this viney plant out here?" And guys smile every day and just laugh at life. Because some things is just going to test you to see what you're going to do and how you're going to react. I'm like, it's called a toothache plant. He goes, huh? He goes, how do you use it? I said, for when you have a toothache. I said, the flowers, you can make a tincture or a salve or a rub that you can put on, or you can take the flower itself and chew on it, make a poultice and put it on your toothache and take your toothache away. He goes, oh, because I ain't never heard of that before. Hey, Ace, how you doing? And I was like, I got something. Yeah, we got a lot of baskets. I was like, so I was like, yeah. I said, that's what they kept cutting us. Like, they need to stop because that's the way it grows. And I had to look up the leaves and everything to see what was growing. So that's what's growing. Because I know what I planted out front. I've got it listed down. So I was like, well, the door is open. I went out there and checked. Oh my goodness, the leaves were dying. I was like, okay, I'm going to go get you some more. So I watered that. I planted more sunflower seeds out there. So we're going to see how they do. And then I've got some other flowers. So, like I said, those videos for the garden needs to be edited, put together, and uploaded. So I should do. I'll probably be out Friday or Saturday, and then we were looking and everything. We've got some banana peppers. We got one that's like this long, but it's still green. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna wait for that to change. And then I happened to look, and we got some baby ones growing. And then looked at the bush bean. It's only that tall, but it's got 3 beans on there. I was like, yes. I was like, this is so cool. This is exciting. So I'm making a note what is growing, what didn't grow, and everything. And this kind of like has nothing to do with eating, but I'll do a mail call thing. But I ordered some evening primrose. This one's the pink one instead of the yellow one, and some mullein. So that can also be a part of your diet if you grow medicinal, and make, you can make tinctures with those, lotions. When I had the evening primrose 4 years ago, I made evening primrose oil and then used it in my lotions. So I was like, yeah. So I happened to look at it. It's like, I'm curious. And it says after planting, it says 20 to sprouts in 20 to 45 days. So I was like, I don't remember it taking that long to sprout. And I got to thinking about the other ones I had. That's for that. I'm going to do a video review on that and everything. I was like, yeah, it's been 20 days since I planted the seed and nothing. Nothing coming up on that thing at all. So I was like, okay, I'll have to get some more. I want also the mullein because, mullein's supposed to be good for many different things. So that will be part of the apothecary also in for my channel when I do those videos. But like tonight, like I was telling everybody, tonight I have this. It doesn't look like a lemon. Lime. It looks like a lemon now. And the parsley tea. So that's in the description with Chef Ricado. And I had to add stevia because that lime it's just a little bit bitter. And like I said, Chef Ricardo's in Jamaica, so he talks with the English accent and everything. So you have to listen sometimes really closely. But they talk about different recipes they use there and all natural things and everything. So I was like, that's pretty cool. He does a lot of lemon and cucumbers, and I was like, well, with all the recalls, I was like, do they have any cucumbers in the store now? I was like, my cucumbers is loaded with flowers and everything. And the vine keeps growing now. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I need something taller for it because it's grown taller. And I'm just like, it's got this little bitty cucumber on there trying to grow. I'm like, come on, y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. And everything. So it's been good. I want to keep up with, letting y'all know about the weight loss and everything, and what I'm doing. Different things. I'm trying what's consistent, what I think doesn't work. Now, I was all for doing keto. I really was. because last year at this time, when I went for got the alpha-gal test done and everything, it came back negative. We were so excited because then that helps with the grocery bill because then, you know, they don't have to buy turkey meat as much and everything. And I went to regular eating, hamburgers, and you have your regular ground beef for tacos and everything. And a month later, I just still did not put two and two together when my eyes started. And I was like, so we thought it was something else. We thought it was soy. We thought it was the spices. And the doctor just said, he goes, the second one, allergist, he goes, it might just not show up on the test. He goes, just, if it bothers you, don't eat it for a while, then test it again. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. So it's like, come on, you get a good answer and you like, okay, I can go back to doing like eating regular beef and everything. And if you have the same reactions starting to show up in different areas besides your hands, start taking note of it. Soy is, everybody knows the main ones: milk, soy, eggs, peanut butter, there's wheat, and then peanuts, nuts, shellfish, and was another one they mean. Alrighty, Ace, we'll talk to you later. And so if you definitely have an allergy to something, don't eat it. But you do the test and it comes up negative, and it's like, okay, it's a process of elimination to figure out what's going on with your body, because sometimes it just does not show up on a test. That's just like with my heart. I always had good blood pressure. The test always came out all right. They couldn't figure out why I was passing out, and it had to be the right doctor at the right time, the right place to say, oh, nope, this is what's going on. I have bradycardia. It's called sinus syndrome. My heart just slows down. And she goes, it's like a gas pedal and a brake. The mind and your brain and your heart talk to each other, that flight or fight mode. And sometimes it just puts on the brakes. And if it feels like something is going on wrong or whatever, it's going to put on the brakes and you're going to pass out. That's just it. And then, thank you, Ace, for being here. And then, or, your heart starts to race and you're in that fight mode because you got to defend yourself. So eating right, I've always, basically ate right, exercised and everything. It was just it's a birth defect that no one caught. So sometimes, like you said, the soybean test came back negative. So it's like, okay, now I haven't had anything that has soy in it that I'm aware of. So we're going to test that out in the next few weeks just to see. Sometimes I'll just be a guinea pig on my own self. For no reason at all. I'm like, why do you do this? Because it's like, I need to know. Like I said, I'm the girl, I'm the one, I'm going to have questions. I'm going to keep asking until I get an answer. Or if that answer makes me have another question, well, why does A, B, C equal D, E, F? And, you just got to keep asking, because eventually you get to the answer that you need to have and all. So it has been an hour. I want to thank everybody for being here and everything. I hope this has been helpful. This is something I'm going to keep on with. So next Wednesday night we'll talk about something else with, it may not be diet, but along the health lines and everything. Thank y'all for the TV watchers for being here. Thank you for everybody in chat. And those who will watch the replay, thank you for being here. Now, Friday night, I will be live on Cooking Dairy Free and AlphaGo with Nancy. And then Saturday night, back on Our Treasure Home, we'll be having a Bible study. And I've, put some descriptions in what it's going to be about. It's actually part of a book that I'm in the middle of writing, just like the other ones. But it was something, notes I took down when I was going through some things and everything. And I was like, I got the notebook out. I was like, okay, I need to finish writing the book. And August, no, you're going to do a Bible study. I'm like, okay, we're going to do a Bible study about it. So y'all have a wonderful and blessed night. God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And we'll see you next time.